For anybody who's going to jump back on these and check them out in the future, my name is Wago Howard. I live in Hilo, Hawaii. I teach music here. I really enjoy it. There's a couple teachers that teach at the same location, but I get the privilege of teaching on Monday and Saturdays. I drive in from where I live, and I've done a couple different locations in Hilo, Hawaii. This by far is the nicest room. It's very air conditioned and all that sort of jazz. Other than that, Monday mornings with anybody on this channel that digs it or anybody who stumbles across this just talks about a little bit of way to get yourself warmed up in the morning, whether you're a teacher or a student. Basically, what I do is I lay out all my options of what I'm going to be playing for with my students, and I warm up on those. Sometimes people ask me questions on here. Hopefully when there's more people watching, there'll be a better source or a crowd to be able to take questions. If I don't know the answer to a question, by all means, I will find that answer and I will get back to you. So it's always best to like throw that out there in the comment section and let me get back to you. Hopefully it gets to you in real time. Other than that, I play with a couple different projects here on Island. I'm trying to get the arts and entertainment a little bit more stoked, if you know what I mean. Pandemic's been really hard on a lot of people, so the long and short of it is I'm going to be trying to put together different pieces. Cool, thank you. I'm going to be trying to put together different pieces so I could have a little bit more music exposure here. Thank you. Aloha. And then, just show what my morning is like. So for music, long story short, try and make the room kind of my own. After I'm done here, I'll sweep up in the morning, throw out my rug. It's a good dampener. Also, it's nice to just kick off the shoes and hang out with it. Interesting. I've got a couple different students that understand a lot of what we talk about is just rudimentary stuff for the circle of fifths. How to use the idea and the placement of your fingers on a piano or any instrument that you're doing. Let's say it's a piano. I know this will be a bad for you, but 1, 3, 5. Your fingers just magically line up there wherever you line. Key is C, no sharps, no flats, meaning anything with the white keys is harmony, triad. So these chords that we work on, no matter what key it's in, we look for the 1, 3, 5. I kind of teach that as the basis of all music theory when we're talking to different students, no matter what the level. Dumbing down someone's musical education isn't always the best idea. You want to be able to explain that this is a triad and it's made by using certain fingers on the piano. Same thing happens with stringed instruments as well. So what I do as just an instructor of music, I gauge what level the individuals are on, and then I help them to achieve their goals, no matter if it's wanting to learn a little bit of sight reading, understanding a little bit more about the music you're listening to, and or just being able to hear a piece of music and have a little bit more appreciation for it. Well, a lot of us have questions about what happens on our individual instrument, and what I do is I show a very beginner way that you can approach your instrument and not feel too overwhelmed by it, and all the while learn a couple valuable skills, like a little bit of rhythm, a little bit of context about what chords are, and then how to, flow through those. So what happens for me on Monday mornings, I take about 15, 20 minutes to help others ask questions about where they're at. So if you have a question about music theory and it's really getting to you, somebody's talking about playing scales, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. What's the difference between a major scale and a minor scale? Well, flat in the third, the sixth, and the seventh. When you talk about it in the context of there are really only 7 notes, and then that 8th one is an octave. So no matter what note you start on, whether it's a C or D, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Out of those 7 notes, 1 is the same as the first, and 3 of them are majors, 3 of them are minors, and 1 of them diminished. So for most people that play an instrument, what I do is I tie together the concept of why chords make sense for certain songs. So a lot of my students bring songs to my attention. My mandolin, banjo, bluegrass type of students will bring songs that are old traditional. So just playing music, getting familiar with just certain progressions, like how to understand what a 1-4-5-4 progression is, like da 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 da. That's like Louie Louie. It's a million pop songs. What we do is we get trained just to hear these kind of movements, and then we train our fingers to do like patterns. So if it's in the key of C, and I know that I've got a major chord here, I know how to explain that on a bunch of different instruments, and I want students to be able to do that, student of anything. So if we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, those are our first 5 notes of any chord. So we could go, C has no sharps, no flats, C, D, E, F, G. Well, G is 5 notes away from C. Therefore, it has 1 sharp. That sharp is F sharp. You just have to remember that that first sharp is F sharp. However, when you go 5 notes from F, it gives you your next sharp. So do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do in the key of C. C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. When we go up to C sharp, let's go past C sharp for a second. When we go to D, we'll have 2 sharps. We're gonna have F sharp and C sharp. That's because when we go through the circle of fifths, D is the second one that we go through. So what we really like to do is be able to explain things in the context of music and how our brains can understand that we're seeing it in real time. So when I say that, what I mean is, if you know how to play a guitar chord, like a G major, understand there's 6 strings on most standard guitars. When you're playing that, 3 of those notes are gonna be the same as the 3 other ones, meaning you're gonna have like 2 E notes, 2 A notes, 2 B notes, no matter what key you're in. So in the key of F, F, A, C, F, G, A, B flat, C. When you play 1, 3, 5, you have F, A, C. To play a minor, F, A flat, C. It's not too hard off, and what we do is we practice on seeing that on the piano, so you're able to hear the difference between a major and a minor. We do that on all different instruments, and eventually, what happens is we put a little bit of sight reading in there, and we put a little bit of singing behind it, and it rounds out the whole package. Meaning, when you come for just a basic lesson and you're trying to figure out how to do something on one instrument and play it and be, a little bit more proficient about being able to hear a song and play it out, no matter if it's something simple like a holiday tune or something complex like something you're sight reading. So with stringed instruments, I always say go below the note, scoop up to it. Pretty close. So on stringed instruments, just what I have is something called spider exercises. Use your first finger on the first fret, first finger on your strumming hand, and then you go to the first fingers and the second finger and the third finger on all your other digits. Meaning, if you have a stringed instrument and you're playing on anything other than in between the fret, you're kind of doing it funky. Don't want to play on the fretting itself nor on the nut. You want to go up in between each individual string. Now what we do is we play to get proficient. Those are quarter, 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 and then we don't stop when we get to the top. Go right back to that. It's a nonsensical way to play like half steps on each. I do believe that we're losing. I don't know. Internet trouble, so I'm going to end it right here if they're still watching. If you have questions about music pedagogy, give a buzz, ask a question, and I'll get back to you. Aloha.